lovelies, today I thought I'd talk you through the books I brought with me to university, since I don't think I'll end up doing bookshelf tours this year because I've only got 2 very small boxes as my bookshelves on the wall, so it's not very interesting to do a book tour, so I think I'd just talk you through all the books I bring each term instead. So the first things I obviously needed to bring were the module books that I needed, that include Puggapook's Hill, The Hobbit, Ideals of the King, News from Nowhere and 3 Mills and Booms books. And of course, because I am in my final year, I also need the books that I'll be investigating or using for my dissertation on the atomic bombs, which includes The Penguin Book of Short Stories, Burnt Shadows, Empire of the Sun, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, A Pale View of the Hills, Hiroshima, Black Rain, Hannibal Rising, and 1000 Paper Cranes, The Story of Sadako and the Children's Peace Statue. I also need to bring with me Inventing the Victorians by Matthew Sweet because I have borrowed this off a friend, and speaking of friends, I also brought 2 copies of Circe, one for myself to read maybe if I felt like it, and another copy that I was book trading with a friend. And along the same lines as Circe, I also brought another Books That Matter book with me, which is Memoirs of an Ex-Prom Queen, just because I read a lot of high fantasy and I thought it might be a nice change to have this as an option on my shelf as well, since it'll be very, very different from the books I usually like reading for myself. I've also ended up bringing 3 of the 5 classics I wanted to read this year. I'm not making very good progress on it, I'm going to be honest. I bought Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, which I know I definitely was going to read and I'm currently reading as an audiobook. To Kill a Mockingbird, because I thought it'd be one of the easier ones. And Anne of Green Gables, in case I wanted to read a bit of children's literature, although honestly I don't think I'll get around to these this term. And another book that I don't think I'll end up reading this term, but I bought it just because I thought it might be good background reading in the nuclear area of my atomic dissertation, although I think I'm going to end up doing something more along the lines of the natural world. So I brought this with me in case I wanted to read something factual. I think it's the only factual book apart from the actual ones about the atomic bombs that I brought with me. Now these are probably the more interesting books. These are the ones that I'm more likely to want to read, and I've brought them for specific reasons. I most definitely brought too many considering I have got to do university reading as well, but I wanted them all. And of course, because Halloween is in the middle of this term, I bought a spooky read, and that is Scratchman by Tom Baker, and that is a Doctor Who book that is also a horror book. So I brought this with me in case I wanted to do something spooky for the term. The other hardback that I brought with me was Princess in Practice, which is the 2nd book in the Rosewood Chronicles. I read the first book as a reread this summer because book 3 came out this term. So I brought this with me because I feel like it's one of the books that I'm more likely to get read this term. The Rosewood Chronicles, along with the Throne of Glass series, are books that I'm eager to get read very soon, and I have finished Tower of Dawn, and I brought Kingdom of Ash with me, which is the last book in the series. It is one hell of a monster of a book, but I've heard so many good things, and I really want to dedicate my time to this, so I think I'll leave this for my reading week, so I can go from reading week into the middle of the first week of the Christmas holidays, so I can be more relaxed about reading this. My reading week is at the end of the term, so I won't have any module reading to do at that point, just some essay planning that I'll have to do and try and get as much written as possible. So I'll be much more relaxed about what I can read, and I can dedicate my time to the Kingdom of Ash. And my third priority series between Rosewood Chronicles and Throne of Glass at the moment is the His Dark Materials trilogy. I brought this with me this term because I know I wanted to at least get the first book read before the BBC adaptation starts on telly, so I have got the first one read, so I should be ahead of the series, but I've brought all of them with me in case I got really hooked and wanted to carry on reading them. And of course, I love high fantasy, so I need a lot of high fantasy options with me, so I have brought We Hunt the Flame, which is my most anticipated summer release. I just didn't get to read it at summer. This is going to be part of a duology, and even though I know I'm probably going to stick with high fantasy for my reading for the term, I thought I'd bring this because it is an ancient Arabia story instead of just the general medieval-esque stories that you get, so I think it would diversify my reading if I wanted to do so, but still stay in the realm of high fantasy. And probably the most optimistic books I brought with me were the first 2 books in the Folk of Air series, because Queen of Nothing, the 3rd book, comes out in November, and in my head, I don't know why I thought I would have time to do a reread of the first 2 books, but I like to have them on my shelves to make me feel like I'm a fast reader. But having them on my shelves is that little bit of false hope that I'm going to have all the time in the world to do some rereads, despite the fact that I think Queen of Nothing is probably going to come out in the UK in hardback, and I'm already dedicated to the series in paperback, so I probably wouldn't be able to buy it on release day anyway. Oh, and I brought a thesaurus with me because literature student. 1, 2, 3, 4... 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. those are the 33 books that I brought with me. Way too optimistic of a number, even with the module reads in there, and I've already purchased 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books since being here, and I suspect that number is going to grow. So definitely expect an end of term book haul. So thank you for watching, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.